welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Proud to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We appreciate you hanging out with us all around the world, up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around this spinning rock that we have going around the sun. YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. And here on today's broadcast, we are back inside of Christy's Corner. Every other Tuesday, we bring this segment to you, and that comes to you, like I said, bi-monthly on Tuesdays, and that is at 9 a.m. Eastern Time to start our broadcast here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Christy's Corner, named after the champ, Christy Salters-Martin, here with us this morning, and she has her 51st win now as she took down COVID. So we're talking about that with her this morning. We'll have some fun as we bring her on, and she's a true champ for getting up and doing the show here, because I know that being under the weather is not the greatest feeling in the world by any stretch of the imagination. So she's here with us today with boxing photographer Pat Orr, as well as boxer Aaron Freeman, and this is all proudly presented exclusively by PB&J's Lunchbox on 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York, and it is always Taco Tuesday when we have the opportunity to do Christy's Corner, so Pat can tell us what's coming up this week, as well as all the specials and that food truck that's out there. So while you can go to the cafe, you can also chase down the food truck all throughout central and upstate New York. In hour number 2, after our conversation in Christy's Corner, we'll break down Syracuse football and the topics going into the 2023 season, which will lead us into the ingredients to success, proudly presented by Avicolli's, where I give you the ingredients to a successful season for Syracuse football, specifically in 2023. So, with all that being said, Christy, Pat, Aaron, officially, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So, Christy, first and foremost, why did you want to have Aaron here as our special guest today? What is it about Aaron that you wanted to put him in the spotlight and give him a little showcase?
You know what, Dan and Pat, as you move through life, and Pat knows Aaron, as you move through life, you meet certain people that leave a great impression on you. And that sometimes can be a positive impression, and sometimes that can be a negative impression. This guy, Aaron Freeman, that I refer to almost every morning as A, he is exactly that. No, he's not an A. He's an A+ guy. This guy, I love him, and he says what he does. He does what he says. He's a super dude to work with. He has a love for boxing. He has a love for family. He has a love for God. I mean, there's so much to respect from Aaron Freeman. So I feel very privileged to get to work with him, and that's what we're doing. We just got to fight in Myrtle Beach in front of his entire family that I want him to expand on and tell us about, and win a title on a Christy Martin Promotions. And that was so exciting for me to have him, and not just him, but now he has under his wing Justin and Christian Biggs that he's bringing up. They're trained by Yoel Judah, who is the father of Zab Judah. It's exciting to have them kind of under the, with the Christy Martin umbrella. We're bringing them to Country Box to Nashville next month, and they have a lot of stuff going on. They're fighting in Columbia. They're fighting for titles. The sky's the limit for this team. So for me to do any more work with Aaron is always a privilege. And then to let him talk about what he's got planned for these guys is exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Aaron, kind of going off of that, as Christy said, for you to be in front of your entire family for this last match that you just had under Christy Martin Promotions, just bring us into that and what it meant for you and who was out there in the crowd for you.
Yeah, well, first, thank you to Christy and everyone and all of you on for having me. And I'd just like to say it's a true blessing because Christy has always been an idol. My family loves her. My family's from the South. We followed her career, and I've always been around boxing all my life. Pretty much, even though I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, I always tell people you get a Brooklyn person with Southern hospitality, and just that's the way I'm raised through my parents, So Christy actually, when she found out I wanted to turn pro, she gave me the opportunity because we had Aida Biggs the Biggs brother's sister, start her pro career on Christy Martin Promotions. And then we had the blessing to come to Myrtle Beach, and Christy's an individual that just opened the doors for us, where sometime in business, you get people who want to keep everything to themselves. And they kind of like, they won't share the knowledge, or they won't show you what's the good path to take. Christy's always been open with me and everything. So when she said, Aaron, if you're going to have your last fight, I want you to have it on my card. And I said, I'm honored. So I told my parents, all my family, hey, I'm going to do my last fight, and it's for a title, the PBF Cruiserweight. And if y'all come, this will be my last fight, win, lose, or draw. But, of course, that wasn't an option. And Christy welcomed everybody. And it was like a huge family reunion on my mother's side, my father's side, my friends, associates. And then when Christy said, we're going to go to Tennessee, Nashville, I keep telling her I think I'm the black Kevin Costner, because my family has property. We have 110 acres upstate New York, so I'm always the biggest Yellowstone fan TV series. So when we came to Nashville, that just made perfect sense. So now in front of the family, Justin Biggs, Chris Biggs, myself, we all was victorious. And now we're moving on to Nashville, Tennessee, under Christy's guidance. And we're looking forward to just, taking this boxing thing to the next level.
And like you said, when Christy called and said, I want you to have your last fight, and I want it to be on my card, and you said you were honored, and that meant so much to you. To see your family on both sides, to see your mom's family, to see your dad's family, and to experience that for you, and to just live in that moment. Obviously, you want to win in the ring, but when you have support from all around you there, and you have Christy and obviously her support, how special was that for you? And did you take a deep breath and really let yourself experience that night?
Yes, I had to just thank God and really say at this point in my life, like, this is the true wealth to me. Like, it's bigger than money. It's bigger than property. To have both parents, my family, Christy, all of us, and I call them my younger brothers there, and just to have that type of, like, love, that's the true wealth, because a lot of times we get sidetracked, and we're chasing the grind and chasing money and wanting to do all this stuff, but everybody took their personal time to drive from Florida, to fly from San Diego, to drive from Texas, to drive from New Jersey and New York, to fly in from Detroit. That, to me, I feel like I'm the wealthiest man on earth. And I really mean that from the heart. So, like, it's kind of like a tearing moment, because so many people would love to have that. So yeah. I don't take it for granted. Like, I really don't.
And as Christy talked about, you're now bringing up boxers under you, and you kind of mentioned it here, and just what you can say about that, the fact that you're paying it forward.
I'm paying it forward because I've always been blessed through I would call it the Brooklyn good old boys, where it was Mark Breland, who's a personal friend. Then he introduced me to Mike Tyson, who's a friend. Mike introduced me to Zab Judah, who I call my little brother. He made me his daughter's godfather. And then at that time, Justin and Chris and Aida Biggs was little kids in the gym while Zab was pro. And their dad, God rest his soul, Raymond Biggs, like, he always was friends with Zab's father, Yoel Judah. And so they was little kids in the gym running around, and Zab was like their idol. So now for me, all these years later, to manage all three of them is just an amazing blessing. So I'm putting all my energy and all my time into them. Yeah. And Yoel Judah's doing the same. So I'm truly blessed to be able to be a part of this.
Christy, when you think of Aaron, like you said, you call him A, but he's really an A+. What is it about him, his personality, the way he goes about it, that made you want to personally help him throughout the years and continue to create ideas and opportunities where you could work with Aaron Freeman?
bottom line, as I said earlier, he says what he does and does what he says. And in boxing, we know that is a very limited group of people that you can actually put your trust in. Aaron has never one time, if he tells me he wants 10 tickets, he buys 10 tickets. He probably only needed 5. He never goes back on anything. And so many people in boxing do just the opposite. You know, they blow up their ego. He has no personal ego. He's all about paying it forward. He's all about helping the Biggs brothers and Aida, their sister. You know, we had so much fun in Myrtle Beach. I'm telling you, we had country box there, and the music's going. Aaron had I think he had 5 tables, which means 5 times 8. He had 40 people there. That was the minimum. That was just because we only had that many tables available. There were more people for him, but they're up dancing and enjoying the moment, enjoying the music, enjoying the fights, and mainly everybody wanted to come and they were introducing themselves to me and so proud of Aaron. And I'm so proud of Aaron. I'm so proud to know him and to be able to work with him. And we're just going to see, you know, we're going to go to Nashville with the Biggs brothers and see how that works out. Hopefully, as Ace said, you know, he's a cowboy at heart. So we'll see how it works in Nashville.
Pat, when you hear this, you know, obviously we're here this morning in Christy's Corner with Christy Salters Martin and our special guest Aaron Freeman, and then obviously with you, Pat, in the photography world, as well as the owner of PB&J's Lunchbox that proudly provides the partnership in this segment. What do we have on the air right now? When we have Aaron and we have Christy, in your opinion, what level of character and what level of person do we have?
Aaron's AAA. He's AAA. He's a kind soul. He's professional. Just, you know, everybody's equal with him, and he's a class act. Definitely a class act.
And what about Christy Martin? What about that? I think you know Christy a little bit.
Oh, jeez. What do you say about Christy Martin, man? She's the champ. She's the champ. She's got heart. Do you hear that noise? Sorry if you do.
Oh, you're good.
I got orders coming in. You know, she's great to work with. Just professional all around, good person. She's just a great person to be a friend with too.
Christy too. And Pat, she said thank you if you didn't hear it. So
you're welcome.
So Christy, you know, for you to have these moments, right? We've had a lot of guests here on Christy's Corner to be around Aaron, and like you said, you know, to be around his family and the amount of people that just came out and wanted to say hello and wanted to get to know you and just appreciated the moment. When you get to live in these, like Aaron said, it's so much bigger than boxing. It's bigger than wins. It's bigger than a record. It's bigger than money. It's bigger than anything that can come with that money. How fulfilling and rewarding is it for you that since stepping out of the ring, you've been able to provide opportunities to other people, and just what that means and why you chose to do it? Why continue with boxing, and why pay it forward, and why help other people have their dreams come true?
To me, that's helping someone else have their dream come true is the biggest accomplishment that I could do. I mean, if it's helping Aaron, if it's helping Justin, if it's helping Chris, Aida, any of these guys, I'm very proud. I mean, I have Tony Aguilar, who just, a matter of fact, I have to do a blast out here. Tony Aguilar was supposed to fight the co-main event on the Zone Friday night, but DeMichael Harris stumped his toe and pulled out of the fight. So, you know, leaving Tony Aguilar busting his butt, actually missing the Myrtle Beach fight, and you know, so we're desperately seeking a fight for Tony right now. So anybody out there that has the opportunity, we're not turning down anything. Keemon Evans he just signed to fight in Washington D.C. on a card promoted by J.D. Brown, who some people maybe remember that name, working with Sugar Ray Leonard. So good opportunities, and to help these guys realize their dream is you know, it's part of my dream too, because that's another win for me when I see them get the belt or just a win, and the smile and the happiness and the excitement that they have, it makes my heart full.
And Christy, how would you describe Aaron as a fighter? When you see Aaron in the ring, how would you describe him?
Look at that. Look, A is 100% cool dude on the outside of the ring, but he's got some meanness in him. He's got that mean streak. When the bell rings, it's all about business. It's all about taking care of business and putting the pain to the opponent. It's not about let's go out there and just beat somebody up for 10 rounds or 4 rounds, whatever how many rounds it may be. He's all about let's get the knockout, which I love that. So I'm 100% supportive. But at 58, I think A is done. I know his mama said he's done, and I'm pretty sure when mama speaks, that's the way it's going to be.
So, yeah. So Aaron, at 58, and after another victory, are you done?
Yeah, you know what? Like Christy said, and I'm thankful for that compliment. He says what he does what he says. I promise my family and parents, listen, if y'all all come to Christy's fight, this will be my last fight. So yes, I'm sticking to it. I'm 6-0 with 6 knockouts. I'm happy with that. I wanted to at least do 10 pro fights, but that's my last one, and I'm strictly focused on the Biggs family now and just trying to grow this thing into it and just being the best person I could be, and anywhere I'm needed to help, I can help.
6-0 with 6 knockouts. Bring us into your career. And
let me interject first.
Go ahead.
Let me interject first.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this, and I have to talk to Mama to get approval. But if we could get some big Nashville name to come to the Texas Troubadour, like I know that A was thinking about calling out Garth Brooks and Kid Rock and all those guys. They want to do an exhibition. Now we might have to talk about that, but that has to be cleared by Mama first.
Yeah, Aaron, who would you want to fight? If you could fight anybody in Nashville that's connected in the music business world, who would you want to have an exhibition against?
Whoever think they could stand the test of time with me.
Okay. But if it's we heard some names, Kid Rock, Garth Brooks, I'm going to throw some Kenny Chesney in there. You know, I mean, Kenny's little though. He could be scrappy. Do you have somebody in like the music world in Nashville that you feel like you would want to just for the excitement of it have an exhibition with?
I didn't have anybody personally.
Okay.
But I was just trying to look at who would be that person that everybody would want to see actually get in the ring. So I'd have to really go through the names of ask Christy, ask Jimmy. But I didn't have anybody just singularly like planned out. But hey, if Christy could talk Mama and Dad into it, I definitely would sit down and say, okay, let's ride with it.
and for you like you said, six fights, 6 professional fights, 6 knockouts. Is that how it had to be for you? Just get into the ring and just send them to the ground quick and move on with your life? I mean, bring me into your fighting style and reflecting on 6 wins, 6-0, 6 knockouts.
Well, like I said, I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, and I do have that Southern hospitality, but I also have that streak that Christy talks about. Look, I grew up in a nightclub, entertainment, music life. My father owns the longest running nightclub in Brooklyn, Sugar Hill, in New York, not just Brooklyn. So I grew up seeing a lot, but I also grew up as an only child for the first 9 years, and then my sister was born. So when certain things in Brooklyn came about, I'm used to people either being jealous or trying to jump you 1 or 2 or 3 people. Oh, I don't like him. Oh, I'm going to jump him. So I had to make real quick work of somebody so the other people could see it's not worth their time. So I wanted 6 wins, but as Judah always said, if the opportunity presents itself, take it to them. And most of these people don't take boxing as serious as you will. So I train every day, all year round, just for life. So I'm always in shape because I'm always on the defense. I'm always thinking somebody's going to try something. They're going to try to do something or take something from you. So I'm prepared. I don't just have on and off season. There is no off season. So when the opportunity presents it, I want to beat the body up, and then when you drop your hands, I want to go on and finish you. Just so happens that some of these fights, maybe 4 of them was body shots and 2 was head shots. So I'll take it.
Yeah, and you bring up Sugar Hill and obviously longest in Brooklyn, longest in New York. What was it like growing up in that type of atmosphere? And like you were saying, if somebody said, I don't like him, I'm going to jump him, you had to kind of learn to not only get thick skin, but to be able to protect yourself at a younger age. Bring me into a little bit deeper of that environment and how it created the Aaron Freeman that we know today.
Well, the way it was, Dad opened up November 17th, 1979. So, I was a little kid, but he had me working with him ever since he opened up. Through the years in the 80s and the 90s, Brooklyn, the hood was the hood. It was called Bed-Stuy, Do or Die. Now it might be Edward Stuyvesant, Stuyvesant Heights, condos and beautiful streets. But back then, it was truly Bed-Stuy, Do or Die. And you had to hold your own. So me growing up, I didn't have a lot of cousins right there with me, brothers and sisters. So when people see you, they think you have a silver spoon in your mouth. And because you're blessed and you work hard, that doesn't mean you're soft. A lot of times people, oh, you're not going to let me in for free? Oh, I went to school with you. Oh, I know you. And people will find any reason to just want to mess with you. So a lot of times my father kept saying, why are you getting in so many fights in our own nightclub? But what he didn't realize was people was always antagonizing me or trying to jump me. And I just had to put my work in and really put the work in on these people. So that always led to boxing, but it was more or less club fighting. But then the Yoel Judahs, the Zab Judahs, the Mark Brelands, the Justin Biggs, Chris Biggs, Aida Biggs, they started showing me how to fight organized. And I said, you know what, I want to turn pro for a few fights. And Yoel said, you must be crazy. Why do you want to do it? What do you have to prove? I said, I just want to prove to myself that some of these people will take me serious. And then here we are now, 6 fights later.
Yeah. And Christy, when we have these opportunities to, feature guests here on the broadcast on Wake Up Call Inside of Christy's Corner, I know it's fun for you because relationships are important, obviously, to you, and they're everything from everything that, I've been around you with. Your relationships are valuable and vital and important. We know that, like you said, there's that Southern hospitality side, right? To Aaron Freeman, there's that kindness, but then there's still that Brooklyn, right? And you have that too. You have this kind heart and this very just awesome demeanor, but at the same time, you wanted to knock the heck out of people too, coming from West Virginia. So could you see that? Are those parallels? Do you see that in other fighters, or maybe in Aaron, that, there's that, hey, I'm really kind outside of the ring and I just want to hang out with you. But when you're inside the ring, there's just a different mentality. There's you're going through that person, so to speak. I mean, can you see similarities between you and other fighters? And do you see that in Aaron when, we know that you wanted to go in there, knock him the heck out, and that's the day?
Well, absolutely. I didn't know what I was going to see, honestly, in Aaron until I saw it. So I was a little bit surprised because he is so soft-spoken, calm, and when you're talking to him, business-like. So I didn't know, was I going to see this like a business-like work in the ring? But that was just the opposite. I don't remember when A's birthday is, but me personally, I'm a Gemini, and so that's the good and the bad twin. I definitely am that because I do, in the outside of the ring, have a big heart, and I try to help everybody that I possibly can. But inside the ring, look, it's time to do business in there. I want to be the best. I tried to be the best, and if I didn't knock you out, you were trying to knock me out. So why not be aggressive and why not be tough in there? I couldn't understand any other way.
And Aaron, I want to go back to Sugar Hill for a second here before we all play rapid fire, where we get to put each other on the hot seat and have some fun with that. the owner, obviously, of Sugar Hill, Eddie Thomas Freeman. How would you describe Eddie? How would you describe Pops?
My dad is from North Carolina, a small town, and he was a sharecropper's son. And when he got the chance and he graduated high school, he came to New York, he told me, with maybe $12, some bread, a couple of slices of bread, and some fried chicken, and his mother sent him to his aunt's house up here to make a better way. At 24, he sent back for his other 7 siblings and his mother, and he went and got him and brought him to New York. So at 24 years old, most people are just trying to figure things out. My dad is the oldest of 8, and to come from where he's come from and establish what he's established in Brooklyn, hard work, multiple jobs. He taught me the real estate game at a young age. He borrowed from his credit union and the post office, and he amassed a nice, portfolio of property to the point where I can have the life that I have, and my son and the rest of my family, we all can have a life because of what he did. So hard work has never been an issue for any of us, and we just believe in treating people how we want to be treated.
I love it. I appreciate it. Here with Boxer Aaron Freeman, as well as boxing photographer Pat Orr, and the lady of our every other week Tuesday Christy's Corner, our spotlight on Christy Salters Martin, the champ. So we're going to play rapid fire, and for you, Aaron, to give you a little crash course in it, gives us an opportunity to go around the room, so to speak. And so we will ask questions back and forth. We get one asked to us, and we ask a question, and I will set up the lineup here. So, Christy, you get to ask Aaron the first question.
There's so many different ways I could go with A. Could do boxing, we could do life. I'm gonna say, Aaron, if there was, I could put you on the spot, but I won't. If there was one trip that you could take in this world, I mean, go anywhere, see anything, or do anything that you haven't already done, what would it be? And where would it be?
One place, I will say Africa right now. I want to go to Africa, to the motherland for me.
And why?
I have some friends from Ghana.
Okay.
I have a long-time relationship of my tailor who makes our clothes, our boxing trunks, and he's from Ghana. And we've been in business together with a clothing line. And I'm seeing so much growth in Africa that that's where I want to go. And I want to go to, as we say, the motherland and see where our originality comes from.
Yeah, I love that. I actually got a friend from Ghana as well. I went to school with Patrick Tindana, so I could appreciate that. We're going to give Aaron the full effect. We're all going to have an opportunity to go back and forth with Aaron. So, Aaron, you can ask Christy a question now.
Okay. Christy, if there's anything in the boxing career that you have that you might change, what would that one thing be?
Easy answer, A. Easy answer. The 10 seconds that I stayed on my knee when I fought Layla Ali was the worst 10 seconds of my boxing life. I wish I would have gotten up and just, kept fighting until she knocked me out, or maybe I landed a big punch. I should have gone out on my shield if they had to carry me out, but I took a knee, and that was just the worst 10 seconds of my boxing career.
No.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Pat, you got Aaron now. What do you got for Aaron?
What do I have for Aaron? I have to say, in Myrtle Beach, your congregation of family and friends that came and cheered was freaking outstanding. If every boxer could have that when they get in the ring, I think a lot of the results would be different, because the energy that they provided for you and the Briggs boys in that, it was amazing. If in the future, I know you're retiring, you're doing the the done thing, you got your belt, and that's cool, and I got to see it, and I got to photograph it. What do you see in the future of the Briggs boys or Big's Boys, are they going to be on any more Christy Martin cards?
Well, that's a very, very, very easy question for me because I believe in the motto and the mantra, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So, but Big's family, I'm going to say this. Where Christy goes, we go.
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome.
I like that.
Thank you, Eddie.
I like that. Aaron, you got a question for Pat now.
Yes. Pat, me being in business with my dad since I was 12, I hear you have a food truck. How does it feel to be your own boss? Is it everything you wanted, and is it everything you hoped for?
I got to tell you, I've been my own boss since like 1982, probably, somewhere around there. Being a professional photographer, I did that for many, many years and made very good money off of it. It was a hell of a lot easier than the food truck and the restaurant business. This gig is no joke, let me tell you, because you are the shopper, you're the cook, you're the bookkeeper, you have to do everything. You know, at the end of the day, you clean your truck. It has to be clean so it's ready to start the next one. It's a lot of work, and it's really hard to find people that want to work that hard nowadays. So it is everything I expected. I wish my friends that own restaurants were more honest with me when they said, yeah, buy a restaurant, you'll love it. That was tough. That was tough. We made it through COVID and that, so we're all good. But we're doing things where, we're not a trained chef or anything, but we got a successful restaurant and a successful food truck. So if you just heard that noise, that's an order coming in. So I don't know if you can hear those or not, but I can't shut it off, unfortunately, because I'm on my way to a food truck job.
But I'm thankful. Can I add something to that, if y'all don't mind?
Yeah.
My dad said to me, if I would have listened to the other restaurant owners, and I should have listened, they told me in the beginning, never open a restaurant. So I respect what you're saying, Pat. Your friends might not have told you the truth, but there's some other entrepreneurs that told my dad, Eddie, stick to the nightclub and stick to the real estate. But he wants to open it, and he says it at least once a month. I should have listened.
Yeah, I got to tell you, though, I love it. I love what I do. I love cooking. I love the people. We have great people that come in the restaurant and support the food truck that, every week they're here supporting. So, I figure if we could make it through COVID when restaurants were closing daily and we moved to a new location in the middle of COVID and we survived and we're thriving, I'd say I'm proud that we did what we did. We worked hard and we adjusted and we made it through. So it was a tough time. We had a lot of restaurants close here, and I'm glad I wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah, and honestly, I think I know that things get tough when you own a business, and obviously I own my business too. But to Pat's side, Aaron, and to Christy, and to everybody watching and listening, I don't think Pat gives herself enough credit for the fact that there's a lot of absentee owners in the restaurant industry where they will come in, check the till, did we make money, give me that money, everybody have a great day. And Pat will cook. Pat's on the food truck all the time. Pat is constantly checking to make sure everything works. I'm on the phone with her a couple days ago, and she's like, I got somebody in here working on this. I got to make sure they get this done, and she's sitting there waiting for it to be done. I don't know how Pat separates herself into 4 to 5 people a day. I don't know how she figured out that superpower to become multiple woman, but I will. But I got to give her credit because there's a lot of restaurants in this world, but there's not a lot of restaurants that pay attention to detail, that make sure things come out the same each time, and that literally everything on their menu has a little twist to something, even if it's traditional. So I don't think she gives herself enough credit that the food is great, but the attention to detail and the consistent approach of wanting to do things the right way and not cutting corners. I think Pat has so much stress and is running around because she doesn't cut corners. And I think that she deserves more credit for that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. it's it's a tough business, but if you love what you do, you don't really work. So I love what I do.
Yeah. And what's today, since we're talking about the food, let us know what's the taco special today?
Today is not shrimp tacos, but it is a Korean steak taco made with tenderloin and homemade pico and everything fresh. It'll be delicious.
It sounds good. It sounds good. Korean steak taco.
Can I place the order from New York?
I'll FedEx it to you.
I like that. All right, Aaron, you and I got a back and forth now. So you're from the BK, and my dad's mom, my grandma on my dad's side, she's also from Brooklyn. She has since passed, so she's up in heaven watching over. When they say Brooklyn in the house, I want to know how do you describe the beat of Brooklyn? What is the heartbeat of Brooklyn, in your opinion, from your point of view?
The heartbeat of Brooklyn, to me, Brooklyn is the Mecca. Ever since a little kid, when I go to North Carolina, they would say, "Oh, where are you from?" And I say, "New York." And then they say, "Where?" And you say, "I'm from Brooklyn." Oh, Brooklyn. Brooklyn just has that whole mystique about, we go hard for what we believe in. Not saying the other boroughs don't, but that little slang in the music business, you keep making it and Brooklyn keep taking it. Like, we really believe in representing as a borough. It's like a blood type, we say. So when they always say on the record and the parties, "Is Brooklyn in the house?" you hear all of Brooklyn stand up and shout, and we represent to the fullest. So that's in my blood. That's in my DNA. I know I'm from New York, but I'm from Brooklyn. And I'm proud to say.
I think the great thing about that is, like you said, it's like a blood type. So it's funny, you go to a blood drive or something like that, and they're like, "What type are you?" And you just say Brooklyn, and you look at them dead face. Brooklyn. That's what BK. That's my blood type.
That's right. BK Brooklyn. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
And I kind of got to give a part two to this. What part of Brooklyn did you grow up in? My grandmother was on Atlantic Avenue, and I can't remember the cross street. I was told like once in my life, but she was on Atlantic Ave, which I know goes on forever. But what part of Brooklyn?
I'm born and raised in the Bedford-Stuyvesant area.
Okay.
So we always used to say Bed-Stuy, do or die. But I'm born and raised in the Bedford-Stuyvesant area. And Brooklyn is so huge. When we all come together for that same common goal and cause, we become one. But I'm always representing Brooklyn, but I'm from Bed-Stuy.
Okay. I like it. I got more for this. Got to expand on. I might just do a show selfishly about Brooklyn with you at some point. So, what's your question for me?
The question for you is, doing your own podcast and being in your own business, what's your main reason for wanting to actually do this? What's your driving force?
God. God and I, people say, how did you do this? How did you know you wanted to do this? How did you build it? Same answer every time. I sat in the trenches with God, and we were just molding stuff that you couldn't see. And I wanted to do it because I love people. I believe in the goodness of people. I believe there's more good people than we think. I love bringing people together. I love telling stories. I love seeing people smile. I love making people laugh. I love moments where someone can step away and say, "I felt that." Somebody cares. Somebody listened to me. My show is based, and all the shows we do are based around the feeling of, I want people watching and listening right now to feel like they're sitting on a couch with all of us, and that we've been friends for 20 years. And we're just talking and we're laughing. We're getting philosophical, but we're having a good time. And so I wanted to do what I'm doing in broadcasting because I've always been a storyteller since my dad let me use his word processor on Saturday mornings when I was 5 years old. And I just love the opportunity to learn about people's stories, show them that somebody cares, let them know how important they are, and to just hopefully leave them when they get off the phone or they get off the video, that they stop and they go, "That was different. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I'd do that again. I mean, that's what I live for, is somebody saying, I'd love to come back on the show. And that's just my hope, that they can feel my heart through the microphone, because I don't do this for the money. I don't do it for the accolades. I don't do it for the awards. I don't do it for anything other than the fact that when I'm done with my life, I want to reach as many people as I can, make my world as small as I can, so that I can shake a lot of hands and give a lot of hugs and make a lot of friendships and see a lot of people smile. I mean, the reason I do it is because I just want to know that there's other lights out there that are trying to shine bright, and whenever we get dim, we got to pick each other up. And I want my company to be a place where people can come when their light feels dim, and we can brighten them up a little bit, hopefully.
That's amazing. I respect that to the utmost. That's amazing.
So, and I know that I'll say all of that in Brooklyn, and at the end, I'll say, Brooklyn in the house. So, I'll be like, Brooklyn, stand up. I love y'all. Don't hurt me. I'm here. I love Brooklyn. You know, I got blood in Brooklyn. My grandmother's blood is in Brooklyn. So,
Red love is the Brooklyn way.
Yeah. So with that being said, Aaron, I want to thank you for being a part of today's show. I want to thank you for getting up this morning and getting out there. And I know you're working and doing a bunch of things, but taking some time away from work. I appreciate that very much. So we would love to have you back. And I can't thank you enough for your positivity and your kindness and your time. It means a lot.
Listen, thank you to you, Pat, Christy, and just thank you to everybody listening. Thank you for having me, because I'm honored.
Well,
I'm honored to be. So I thank you all.
I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for being a part, Aaron.
You're welcome.
Have a good day. I'll be in touch soon.
Take care.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
So that coming here once again from Aaron Freeman, our special guest that we had here on the broadcast on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, inside of Christy's Corner, which comes to you bi-monthly on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, exclusively with Christy Salters-Martin, as well as Pat Orr, boxing photographer, and our special guests throughout. So we're going to bring Pat back on here, and Christy and I are going to continue the conversation here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for a couple more minutes. We're gonna rapid fire another one here to each other, and so we're gonna have an opportunity to bring you that as you're with us worldwide on Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. So, Christy, you get to ask Pat the next question.
Oh my.
Pat, I wish you could see her face every time she's coming up with one. I really do.
It's because there's some things that go through my mind that I can't ask.
Well, you both said the F word last time, so I don't think there's a lot of restrictions that I put on you. So.
Right. But speaking of F word, I want to say hi to my mother. I love you. She's at Dallas in Beckley, West Virginia, listening to us right now. So I love you.
Shout out to Mom. Shout out to Joyce. I always see her show up in the feed here. So Joyce, much love. Thank you for being here with us, and I hope you're feeling better and staying well out there.
So to Pat, Pat, if you could come back as any animal, and I don't believe in that reincarnation stuff, but let's just say you come back as any animal in the animal kingdom, what animal would it be?
Well, I have to say, that's a pretty easy answer for me. I would come back as one of my dogs, because they have a great life. They have a great life, and I would want an owner like me.
Right?
So that would be easy.
Yeah, I like that. I knew you were going to say dog. I knew that was coming. All right, Pat. You got one for me.
Got one for you. Let's see. If you were a boxer, it could be male or female, just a boxer.
Yeah.
But what would be the ultimate place for you to fight, and who would your opponent be?
Oh, that's cool. Oh, boy. There's so many Places that came to mind. Wow. Okay, I got it. I go back to my high school where people thought that I was weak and they thought that I would never go anywhere in my life. And not that they thought I would never go anywhere in my life, there was just a lot of bullying and a lot of hate in my high school. So I would go back to my high school because that's a place where I probably was most afraid growing up. And I'd put the ring in the gym and I'd box against all those. What'd you say?
Not in the stadium?
Oh, no. I put it in the gym. We're gonna put it in the gym, and I'll put it in the gym because the gym is where a lot of people got nasty. So I'm gonna go back to the place of hate. I'm gonna put myself in that ring, and give me all them mothers, and I say mother blanks is what I'm gonna say. I'm not saying mothers like moms. I'm saying give me all those people that bullied me and bullied other people in school, and put them all in the ring with me. And when it's done, I'll take my mouthpiece out, I'll put my hand in the air, and they'll all be laying there on the ground.
Drop the piece.
Yeah. So.
Well, you can make it more interesting. Have them all in the ring, but one at a time. You have the tire in the middle of the ring, and you each have a foot in there so that they can't get away from me.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think the thing is, yeah, give me each one of them because there was in my high school they talk about now, oh, we're going to go into a school and we're going to stop hazing. There was hazing, there was hate speech, there was negativity, there was prejudice, there was attacks against religion, attacks against sexual orientation, there was attacks against family. So, I mean, going to my school, which was a privileged school, which you paid a lot of money to go to, was where I met the most evil people I've ever met in my life. The teachers were great. The students were evil. And I proudly have no desire to ever go to a reunion. We just had 20 years this year and not a single person called me, and I don't even think we did anything for it. So, I mean, I'm not a fan of bullies. I'm not a fan of people that make other people feel scared or threatened or small. And I think that there's some people in our school that never had to stand in public and apologize for things that people have to apologize for now. So in today's America, where you're supposed to be sorry when you do things wrong, I would love to have all those people step up to a podium and have to admit to everybody everything they did to all the people they did it to. Because back then, they could hide and they didn't have to be sorry. And back then, when you were a bully, you got away with it.
Yeah.
So,
Good answer.
Give me them bullies. Bring them all back. I feel like Christy's sitting there marinating now, like, I didn't know Dan had that little fire inside of him. Maybe he needs to come to a country box. So, I don't know. It's in me. You asked me the question. Pat always gets me emotional. I don't know what she does to me. But she always makes me think about things. All right. I got one for Christy. Let's see. Christy and I haven't gotten to... Christy's been under the weather here, so we've texted a little bit, but I haven't gotten to have some Christy talks lately. So, all right, Christy, let's see here. If you and I and Pat were all going right now to... we've done some travel ones before, so I want to do something different. If we were all going to see a movie about your life, because I know that, there's things in the works and there's rumbling. So if the three of us were going right now to a premiere to see a movie about your life, who do you want to play you, and what do you want the movie to be called, and where do you want the premiere to be?
Wow. So since I'm not a big movie person, I don't have a lot of names that I can put out there. I know that I've spoken personally with Kate Mara, and I would love for her to get the part to play me in this movie that we simply can call Christy. And I think the premiere should be, wow. Where should the premiere be? I think we should do the premiere in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Charleston, West Virginia, probably because it's the biggest city close to my city, to my town. But just have everybody come to West Virginia to see West Virginia, to see, and engage with my people. We're kind, we're helpful. These are the people that at least I knew in West Virginia back in the 80s.
Yeah. No, I like it. I was thinking West Virginia when I asked the question. All right, so we're going to go back around. So, Christy, one for me.
Let's see. Oh. Dan, I've been sick, so my brain is moving a little slow this morning.
You're good. You're good.
If we were going to go to dinner,
yeah,
anywhere, what kind of food would you have? And would it be any of the food that we tasted at the food truck rally?
Well, to go back to Pat's question, after the people fought with me in the ring at my high school, I would feed them half of the menu that we had at the food truck rally that we gave fours to. And then that's probably what I have to do. No, I mean, the food truck battle that we had, there was just there was a very different type of food that we had, right? We had different things that we got to experience. And I would say that if we could have food anywhere, we're gonna be on a rooftop in Italy, eating the best Italian cuisine that could come to mind, and we got to be on a rooftop in Italy, having the finest Italian food on the planet.
Sweet.
That's what I would say.
Oh, I'm absolutely right there with you.
Yeah, that's my answer. Now you got me thinking about this food. See, we had some great. See, for people that don't know, like the inside joke of it all, we had some great food at the food truck battle. And then we had some other things. Then we had some other things. We had a bouquet of flowers. We had something that tasted like black licorice, attacked it in the middle of the night. So, but. It was like a hate crime of black licorice. But, yeah, I don't know. There was some good stuff. There was PB&Js. They came to play. I'll give them credit for that. And I think that the ones that we voted high on, too, they ended up winning. So, I guess our taste buds were in the right place. But, okay. So, let me get myself out of trouble now. So, I'm going to go back to Pat. All right, Pat. Miss Orr. Okay. So so Pat's a night owl. Pat's up late. And so Pat was at my house yesterday at, I don't even know, 10 o'clock, 10:30, something like that. 10:30 at night. So if all right, I'm going to paint a little picture for us. Pat, you and I have to stay up 24 hours. Okay? What are we doing? Where are we going? Paint the picture. Since we're both night owls, what are we doing if we had 24 hours to play with? Paint the day for me.
Okay, 24 hours?
Yeah.
It'd probably all be about food, some breakfast,
Okay.
some lunch. Hold on one second.
Taking in a food truck order right now. Do you know how hungry we are, Christy? How hungry are you right now? I'm starving.
I know. All Taco Tuesday always gets me.
Yeah.
Like, come on, why am I so far away from Pat?
Sorry about that. We're getting ready for a food truck job. So.
Yeah. No, we were talking about how hungry we are and how we're thinking about what you're making right now. Where are you? Where are you currently? Where are you?
I'm getting ready to go to Upstate Hospital. We're going to serve in the circle there.
Okay.
And then we go to Harvey's Garden later tonight. But I got to tell you, it's going to be around food and relaxing and TV. I don't think you'll get me to watch any Marvel stuff, but
that's all right.
I'm thinking that, we can go through the Rocky series maybe, or the Creed series.
Okay.
Hang out on the couch, relax with our feet up, and it'll all be about relaxation and food.
There's nothing wrong with that. I can live
Making a day of it. We're gonna definitely make some nachos.
Yes. And I started making my own tostadas, and I started playing with that last week, and so I put my tostadas together and started stacking them. Got a little secret ingredient that's spicy and sweet that I've been putting on all my tostadas, so I actually got some more in the house, and I did it with ground turkey and seasoned it. I think I'm making tostadas this week with shrimp, so
Nice.
I'm excited.
I think actually you're going to be cooking for me because, I've always been cooking for you, so.
That's fair.
I think I'm gonna put it on you, and then, we'll just talk boxing and life in general.
So, cooking, eating all day, great food, Rocky series playing in the background. I'm good with that. I think we got to make a phone call to Christy Martin and see if she wants to come hang out too.
Yeah.
I think Christy.
Don't leave me out. Don't leave me out.
Well, this is the thing, Christy. Can we sneak you up here and get you like I don't know. Can you become a snowbird but in the snow? Can we sneak you up here more often to Syracuse? Can we do that?
Maybe we can. I'm hoping.
All right. Okay. All right. So Pat, you get to ask the last question, which goes to Christy.
All right, Christy. Let's see. Oh my goodness. I might be stumped today, but we're on a food kick right now, so what is your favorite thing to cook?
To cook, Pat. Now you know me.
Chicken,
So listen, Pat, I used to cook 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't cooked since really. I throw chicken in the slow cooker, put some sauce on it, put some vegetables in there. I do not cook. I lived on microwave meals for about 4 years while I was in Charlotte. So there's nothing that I like to cook, Pat. Nothing.
Okay. We're going to have to work on that. We'll give you some nice, easy recipes. They'll be good.
All right.
Yeah. I'm just not good at it. I'm not creative. And I'm not creative. And even though I could definitely lose weight, food is not important to me. I like food. I like good food.
Yeah.
Right.
Vegetables, salads, good steak, things that are good for you. I also like pizza, wings, those things that aren't so good for you. But cooking is not my specialty.
Yeah.
Or my, but eating is. I mean, I like to try stuff, but I eat.
All right. Yeah.
And it'll just be a distraction if I'm on here talking and driving.
No, you're good. Just say it. I'm too busy for you and Christy. Just let it be known. It's fine.
Absolutely not.
No, I know.
I'm not too busy for you guys.
I know. Enjoy your food truck. Enjoy your food. Christy and I will sit here and sadly cry ourselves. I'll cry myself through the rest of the broadcast because I always like to talk about food and punish myself while I'm sitting in the studio and have no way to get food as I'm locked in. So enjoy.
You can run by the hospital when you can. We're gonna go feed the nurses and doctors.
Well, thank you for what you're doing to feed the people that help to keep us going. So I appreciate it. We look forward to talking with you soon.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Take care.
Bye, Pat.
With that being said, Miss Martin, is there any final note that you would like to leave on today with the different things you've done in Country Box and everything you're working on? Is there anything that you'd like to leave everybody with today?
I will be in Port St. Lucie, Florida, Saturday at an amateur event. It starts at 1 o'clock, supporting the Port St. Lucie POW program. So if anybody's in that area of Florida, please come by and say hello, support the POW program. I will have a couple books there for sale, the last 4 or 5 that I have, and then I'll be sold out of books. So, but just always remember that it's very important to show support to these young upcoming boxers. And when I say young, I'm talking about these kids that are 10, 12, 14 years old that probably are never going to be a professional boxer, but they are going to be a professional. And boxing is teaching them right now discipline, dedication, determination, it's teaching them how to win, how to be successful, and to really establish goals and go get them.
Yeah, and I think supporting people doing what they love is always important, right? To fan that flame and to make sure that you give it support and you give it love and just take care of each other. Be good to people and take the time to take the time. We talked about that this morning, just people taking time out of their schedule to spend time with you and to be there for you, like Aaron Freeman's family coming out and seeing him. There's nothing like, knowing that somebody purposely came out to do something. And in a world where it's, all over the place and people find it hard to focus, when you show up for somebody, they say that that's 90% of the battle. So just show up for people and care about people. Christy, as always, thank you for showing up, especially today when I totally would have understood because, you've been going through being sick. So thank you for being here, and thanks for all you do.
Thanks, Dan.
All right,
See you soon.
Talk with you soon. That here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. Christy's Corner, hanging out with us every other Tuesday, and it is exclusive to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, this Christy's Corner. We're happy to bring it to you bi-monthly on Tuesdays just through the first hour from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time with Christy Salters Martin, a.k.a. The Champ, and International Boxing Hall of Famer, as well as boxing photographer Pat Orr, and we have special guests all throughout the year. And our special guest today, the owner of a 6-0 record, all 6 knockouts, and that being Aaron Freeman, who ties us to Brooklyn and to his family and the Sugar Hill nightclub, and obviously all the work that his father and family have put together. And a big time shout out to his family that showed up on his mom's side and his dad's side to support him and to always be there for him. Now, doesn't matter how old you are, when your loved ones come out and they see you and they support you, it's a different world, and it lifts us all off our feet. I think it gives us all wings, in my opinion. So, with that being said, we'll take a step aside for a fast break. When I come back, we're going to be talking about Syracuse football, breaking down the topics that are on my mind as we head into the Syracuse Orange Football season here for 2023, right after this. Avicolli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicolli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student-athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicolli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. This is a special message from 317 at Montgomery restaurant owner Joel Carpenter. Open Tuesday through Saturday for your dining pleasure on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York.
We wanted to be a part of the resurgence of Syracuse. We saw a lot of money being put into bringing people back downtown and thought that, we'd like to be a part of that. I love putting together a good dish where people see it first, they fall in love with it, and then it tastes just as good as it looks. We want to provide the best food in Syracuse that we possibly can, and we want you to leave here talking to your family, your friends about what you had to eat first and foremost, but also our service, and to walk out feeling like you're part of our family. I work out in the front of the house a lot, and I love walking to every single table, asking them how everything is, and people looking at me and smiling and saying, this is the most amazing short rib I've ever had. This is the most amazing filet I've ever had. And Donna is great. Sarah's amazing. Thank you for coming over and talking to us. And then them just being truly happy for the experience that they've gotten.
317 at Montgomery Restaurant, part of the fabric of downtown Syracuse, located on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York. Open Tuesday through Saturday for a unique and memorable dining experience.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond. You can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? This is a special message from Merritt Brady, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Watertown on 1290 Arsenal Street in Watertown, New York.
Chick-fil-A for me has always been about the people. I think it starts with the strength and leadership of the Cathy family. It's just amazing to see a family-run business reach the altitude that they have. Second mile service is something that we embodied at my previous business, and the ability to make people feel like they're the only person at your establishment, that you are there to serve them that day and looking for those extra ways to make them happy, to anticipate what they need next is what makes me tick. And I'm going to have so many opportunities at Chick-fil-A to do that. It's one of my favorite things to eat in the world. My favorite application question or interview question when I'm interviewing is when I get to, have you ever eaten at Chick-fil-A? And a smile hits both their ears. They can't even answer the question for a second. And when I see that, it's like, man, that's going to be a great hire. They already get it. They already feel it. They already know that we're different. The Chick-fil-A experience, it's a real thing. And then, of course, just our generosity and community involvement and making a positive impact in the lives of our team members, our guests, and the community in general, I think is really the secret sauce.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Proud to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports truly meets that thing called life. It's now time on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora to speak on the Syracuse Orange and this upcoming season. 2023 is upon us, folks, and we are about to get started. Believe it or not, how quickly this sneaks up on us. The Syracuse Orange football season and college football season in and of itself is right here and right around the corner. And we will have the opportunity to see everybody in action here very, very soon. And, I mean, football season, it does. It sneaks right up on you, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, it's the summer, and then it's football season. So, first game for Syracuse is on September 2nd, folks. It's Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time against Colgate in the JMA Wireless Dome, formerly the Carrier Dome. So we'll see Syracuse take on Colgate in just a little bit here. And as of today, we are, let's see how many days we are away. So we got 5, 17, 18, 19 days away. So it's less than 3 weeks away where we will have the Syracuse Orange football season fully in effect as it kicks off. I mean, they would tell you, and I would tell you, that football season's never out of season, right? We're always in football season. And why do I say that? Because, well, you have spring camp, then you have fall camp, and in the middle you have workouts. And then, of course, you have, collegiate free agency right now, so that happens in the off season as well. So, there's a lot of things going on. I mean, the fact that you can join a roster in between camps, from spring camp to fall camp, during fall camp, you can join a roster. Syracuse has had that happen to them now. It's crazy. It's free agency. Think about that. Training camp is going on right now for the NFL, and players can, move around the country type of thing. I mean, you think about what's going on in collegiate athletics, you're fully into camp. And kind of that, just like seeing that parallel, that here's NFL training camp, here's fall camp for college football. And college football, you can join another team while we're sitting here in camp. That's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. It's free agency, and nobody can tell me otherwise, because it is it's what it is. It's free agency. So in this college football free agency, Syracuse stepping forward, going toward the season. What are the questions? What are the thoughts? What are the topics that we can discuss when it comes to Syracuse Orange football? Well, not first and foremost, because these are in no specific order, but let's look at our quarterback, right? Let's look at Garrett Schrader. The hope that he will be healthy, the hope that he will be well, and the hope that he'll get after it here as he gets started. Now, I'm on record as never saying that Garrett Schrader can't throw the ball. Many people were not so nice to Garrett Schrader. Spoiler alert, Garrett knows that. I enjoy being around Garrett. I enjoy talking with Garrett. And I think that Garrett coming to Syracuse, and people might think I'm crazy for saying this, but I think it's one of the best moves Syracuse has made in a while. Because you bring a guy from the SEC with the tutelage of the SEC, and somebody who has, that southern experience, right? And I just feel like the way that he handles the game. See, this is the difference between me and some other people. I've been to training camps in the NFL. I've been to multiple teams' training camps. Been to the Bills, been to the Jets, been to the Bucks, been to the Dolphins, been to the Jaguars. Well, I've been around the Jaguars team, I should say. I don't know if I've ever been to Jaguars. Been to the Dolphins, been to the Jaguars. So, I don't know if I've ever been to Jaguars training camp. And I haven't. No, I've been to Dolphins, Bucks, Bills, and the Jets. And I've had the experience of being around professionals. And I just see Garrett Trader as a professional in the way that he handles himself, the way he handles interviews, his style. I see an intelligence and a professionalism that I respect. And so I got to give a shout out to that because, you know, I don't think we say enough about moments like that. I really don't. And I don't think that we give enough credit where credit is due, to be completely honest and fair, you know. So I think Garrett Trader is more of a weapon than people have given him credit for. So as we discuss Syracuse Orange Football, that's one of the things I want to discuss. That's one of the topics I want to discuss, is that Garrett Trader is a catalyst and is somebody on this team that is a game changer. And the health of Garrett Trader as we step forward is going to be an integral part of this, because yes, they brought in Braden Davis and yeah, they have Carlos Del Rio Wilson, but Garrett Trader's your starter, and Garrett Trader has proven that he can be multiple with the ball, and I think that people need to... I would like to see people respect him a little bit more. And that's something that's on my mind right now, is the element that Garrett Trader brings to the game. Because I don't think we talk about it enough. I don't think we say enough about Garrett Trader. And as we look at Garrett Trader's numbers here, while he has been at Syracuse University and what he's done here, when we go and we look at Garrett Trader and we look at his history with the Orange, you know, these last couple seasons, now in 2021, his completion percentage was 52.6. Last year, he raised 52.6 to 64.7, right? Shout out Coach Beck and all the work that Jason Beck has done with him and whatnot. He goes from 123 completions to 205. And to think about the juxtaposition, in 2021, he had 234 attempts total. Last season, he had 205 completions. So almost as many completions as the attempts he had the year before, 52.6% to 64.7. From 2021 to 22, his passing yards went from 1445 to 2640. His touchdowns went from 9 to 17, and he kept his interceptions under double digits. 4 interceptions in 2021 at Cuse, 7 last season. His touchdowns on the ground, running the ball, 781 yards in 2021, 4.5 yards a carry, 14 rushing touchdowns. Last season, 453 yards as he ran the ball almost 30 times less, 3 yards a carry and 9 touchdowns. There's some running backs that don't have 23 touchdowns in their collegiate careers. There's some running backs in the NFL that don't have 23 touchdowns. Garrett Trader as a quarterback has 23 rushing touchdowns for Syracuse and 26 passing touchdowns to show how balanced he is. So, you know, working with Coach Beck, I'm excited for that. And Coach Beck, you know, continuing to keep his control over the quarterback room as he continues to be the quarterback's coach, and is also the new offensive coordinator this season. So came in last season as a new quarterback's coach and continues to be the quarterback's coach as well as being the offensive coordinator. That can only help Garrett Trader. So of the topics we're looking at for Syracuse football, I think one of them that we definitely have to talk about is what we just talked about, is Garrett Trader, right? Garrett Trader, his health, and the fact that he is more of a leader than I think people give him credit for. Another topic that I want to take a look at is the backfield. You know, the backfield, I had the opportunity to speak with Juwan Price recently here, and that's shared on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. You can also go to facebook.com/wakeupcalldt. So both places where you're watching and listening live worldwide also have my conversations with numerous people, over 3,000 videos, including our camp videos and the one with Juwan Price that I just mentioned here. LaQuint Allen Jr., he's back, which is great. Juwan Price told me repeatedly, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be out there with LaQuint. You're going to see both of us. You're going to see what we both have to offer. You're going to see the talents of both of us. So I think the running game, because honestly, last year they didn't run the ball enough. Sean Tucker, who they ran sometimes where maybe he wasn't full health, I look at Sean, and I appreciate everything Sean did, but I still think they didn't give him the rock enough. And I would like to see more of a rushing attack for Syracuse. It's the best way to demoralize a defense. It's the best way to take time off the clock. So not having a strong running game can very much work against you. And when a team's in a position where they're forced to pass, that's a lot of danger zone. And you're trying to get giant chunks of yards. And yeah, you could have a big pass play for 50 yards, 60 yards, 80-yard play. But you're going to get, what, one of those a game, one of those every couple games? Running the ball is a huge way of taking the pressure off the quarterback, taking the pressure off of the offensive line having to hold as long as they have to hold sometimes for a quarterback to get rid of the ball. So I think having a strong rushing game obviously helps everybody, and it takes giant bites out of that clock. So I think seeing LaQuint Allen Jr. and Juwan Price out there, maybe some of these other guys, Moafik Parkman, Mario Escobar, Ike Daniels, who we could see, we could see some of these guys in the return game. But Juwan Price, LaQuint Allen Jr., I think the biggest thing now is showing that there is talent, there is life after Sean Tucker, and that there is trust in the running game from Dino Babers. I think all of that's important. So it'll be interesting to see with Coach Beck working with quarterbacks at Syracuse and working with quarterbacks before that when he was at Virginia, what this is going to look like now that he's an offensive coordinator. So, will he be in a place where he is going to branch out and not focus as much on passing, but focus on both. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what it looks like to have him as the offensive coordinator, being somebody that's, worked with the quarterbacks in multiple places. Will he leave the ball in the quarterback's hands a lot, or will he look to run the ball a little bit more than Syracuse did last year? That's another question mark. Another part of it is, starting with offense, defense, we'll get to special teams because I'm going to give you topics on each here as I analyze the Syracuse 2023 football season. The wide receiver core, right? I mean, Oronde Gadsden, he's written down Oronde Gadsden II as a tight end, but we know he's a receiver. And, because tight end, traditionally, you think about blocking, and Oronde is the biggest weapon that they have in the receiving core coming from last season. Now I'm looking to see guys like DeMarcus Adams, who did some good things when he transferred in. He had some moments, but I want to see, who's going to step up, who's going to be the other guy, because Oronde Gadsden, the really good teams out there were able to key in on him and take him out of games. There were moments where it looked like that opportunity of the past two Oronde kind of disappeared. So will Damian Elford, will Isaiah Jones, will Amari Hatcher, will DeMarcus Adams, will Donovan Brown? Who's going to step up and be Trevor Pena, Nate Wellington, so on and so forth? Who's going to step up and be that next giant threat? And I think Damian Elford, speaking of giant threat, standing at 6'6", should be a threat out there. I'm surprised they didn't utilize him more often, especially in the end zone, with his ability to, honestly, just his height itself to be able to catch the ball over somebody. And so if you got an athletic guy who can jump and has good hands and also is 6'6", then you put yourself in a terrific position when you get in an end zone that every DB is going to be shorter than him. I would venture to say we're not seeing 6'6" DBs out there. So I'd like to see Damian Elford utilized more. Isaiah Jones went down with an injury last year, so it'll be interesting to see what he's going to bring to the table. I know the media has been kind of focusing in on him and zeroing in on Isaiah, so we'll see where he kind of showcases himself and his talents. He's a little bit of a question mark to people out there, which I think is good film-wise and good, especially in the beginning of the season, to see what he could do. So let's see what Syracuse puts up against Colgate, because they're not going to want to show everything, right? And this is an anticipated win on the board, and it's no disrespect to Colgate. It's Syracuse schedules these games to get some early victories and be able to kind of not show a lot, be vanilla on their offense, so to speak. So who's going to step up? Amari Hatcher, DeMarcus Adams. And with a game like this against Colgate, if they reach deep into the depth chart, we could see some experience for some of these guys out here. But there's a lot of, Oronde Gadsden is the household name. And there's a giant opportunity for anybody to become wide receiver 2 and wide receiver 3. And I'm interested to see how that's going to kind of play itself out. The offensive line, we look at this, Enrique Cruz Jr., who I've spent a lot of time with, he's my running mate when I run for president. And then when he runs for president, if we do things right and I get 2 terms and he gets 2 terms, we'll have the White House for 16 years, which would be almost 2 decades to turn it in the right direction. We know the food will be good for sure. Shout out Grandma. But and we know the drinks will be good. Shout out Mom. But Enrique Cruz, left tackle, Matt Bergeron, multiple times that I've spoken with Matt Bergeron, who was a high draft pick heading to the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons, who traded up to get him. Berge and I were discussing the future of the line, and multiple times he brought up one name, Enrique Cruz Jr. And now Enrique has the task of coming in and being the left tackle and guarding that blind side. And he has done practice at left tackle, so that's where we anticipate him being. I thought he would get his shot. I think this shot's coming a little bit sooner in a good way, and can definitely give him a ton of film, a ton of experience, and he's a redshirt sophomore, and so there's an opportunity for him to build the next few years at left tackle and become the next big-time Syracuse offensive lineman to head to the NFL. God bless. Kalen Ellis, who I covered through his recruitment, and God bless to his family in Hawaii, as well as his family everywhere. Kalen Ellis, a wonderful person to talk to. We got him at left guard. He got some experience last year. Josh Alawa, we have seen him play center and not play center. And now with Carlos Vettorello all finished up here, we have with his time at Syracuse, Josh Alawa will be our center. And I still think it's a little bit of a question mark, what Josh Alawa brings to that position right in the center of the offensive line. So I'm excited to see his growth, his maturation, and what we can get out of him this season for sure. Definitely looking forward to the opportunity of speaking with him. Jacob Bradford, who we've seen in different spots. He's right guard right now. And Joe Moore, who I spoke with in his recruitment, and DeAndre Reed. We'll see where these guys shake out. And, Reed right now, potentially a backup center. Could see him somewhere on the line. And Joe Moore, at right tackle right now. These are 2 guys that were coming in with the hope through the transfer portal that we could see some immediate positive veteran experience leadership from DeAndre Reed and as well as Joe Moore. So I'm excited to see those as well. And I think that, if things can work out here, I'm looking at a line that could really shore up at least maybe 3 to 4 spots I'm looking at right now, and hopefully 5 as the season progresses here. And when I say shore up, I feel good about like 3 to 4 spots right now on this offensive line. When we go to the defensive side of the ball, and Elijah Wright at fullback, shout out that Syracuse even has a fullback. I love seeing that. And Maximilian Mang and Dan Villari, who transferred to Syracuse and went from quarterback to tight end. We'll see what both of these gentlemen could do. David Clement, who comes from Christian Brothers Academy in Albany, who has been on the show here on Wake Up Call. I'm excited to see. I'm not anticipating as a true freshman. Maybe we'll see him a lot. But if he redshirts, just what he can be to the future of this team. And Steve Mahar Jr., I just say a big-time prayer for you, Steve, and that you heal. He tore his ACL, and he's out for the season. So big-time blessings to Steve Mahar to heal completely and for good, and no matter what, to heal through God first and foremost, and to handle well whatever comes his way in and out of his control. Many blessings to you and your family in Jesus' most precious name. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. For Stephen Mahar. On the defensive side of the ball, Braylon Ingraham is coming in, transferring into Syracuse from the SEC. So this is a question mark of what he's going to look like. Kayvon Darton, we know that he's done a tremendous job. And Darton getting into this 3-man front for the defense. I think we'll be seeing him obviously in rotation. I don't think it matters where he is on the depth chart. I think Darton has earned his keep for sure, going from a walk-on, getting a scholarship, and going to find his way onto the field again this season. Obviously, a massive, massive positive is Caleb Okechukwu decided to come back to Syracuse. Shout out Mob. And, and their version of it, folks, let's be clear, the Mob. So, we got Caleb Okechukwu back. Terry Lockett, I'm excited to see what he can do. Obviously, I spoke with him in his recruitment and as he's come through. So, his maturation process, as well as Dennis Jaquez Jr., and, as well as Knowlton, Belazaire Bassett, Elijah Fuentes Cundiff, and seeing what he can do on the defensive line as I interviewed him going into the season. Chase Simmons is still here, and he's been a part of the roster for a while, so that can lead into, obviously knowledge over time that can be really helpful in the 3-3-5. So I think there's some question marks on the defensive line, which there has been before, but if Braylon can come in and be immediately effective, and then we can see, some likes of Lockett or Darton or a mix of both, and then Caleb doing what Caleb does, I think that there's really a chance for this line to maybe shock some people and do some good things. And we know Syracuse's line, no matter who the coach has been in recent history, has involved themselves in a rotation style where we're getting different guys in and giving opportunities. It's not just the same three that are up front. We're actually seeing different pieces here and different looks. So I think we'll see that again this season. At the linebacker position, our three linebackers, Stephon Thompson, Marlowe Wax Jr., Stephon Thompson coming off of an injury, and Derek McDonald, who I just spoke with recently here. McDonald was a former tight end. We know that he's got hands as he intercepted the ball and definitely did some good things last season. Jay Bird saying amen. How you doing? Mr. Jason Lucas. Love Jay. One of my brothers. Shout out to my nephew in heaven, Carter, my first ever nephew or niece that I ever had in my life. So big time shout out to you, Carter. I love you. I miss you every day. And shout out to Carly and Gracie, Uncle Dan. Next time Uncle Dan comes to Florida, it is on my list for sure to be able to see the girls because I haven't seen them in a minute, and I definitely want to see the fam and see Jay Bird and see how everybody's doing. So Marlowe Wax, obviously him coming back is another massive addition. Thompson coming off of injury is a huge help for Syracuse as well. And Derek McDonald, I'm excited for that. Anwar Sparrow, Leon Lowry, and Austin. Really Sparrow and Lowry, what they've done, they're a little sneaky here. There's some film on them, so they can definitely fill in. They've proven that. Austin Roon as well, having some moments here. So to see what that's going to look like. And I definitely think that the linebacker core that's been really, really strong in the past for Syracuse, I think this is one of those seasons where we could see a strong unit come out from that middle of the defense for Syracuse here. I think I like a lot of names. I like what I'm seeing here for Syracuse's linebacker core, which I know they've had to build up over time because they had so many talented guys finish their eligibility. As far as the back line of the defense in the 3-3-5 that has the most, we have Isaiah Johnson, who I'm excited about. Just spoke with him recently, what he could do at corner. Jeremiah Wilson, who we know is filled in at times. Jaden Gould, who comes through the transfer portal. Jaleel Martin at safety, who comes through here. We got Jaden Bellamy, who transferred in as well at the cornerback position. And Quan Peterson at corner. So there's going to be, again, another position here where the linebackers have the names that and the linebackers have some experience, and I think the linebackers are a strong suit here. The DBs are going to be working in who really is going to fit, but there's a bunch of guys that have had time, right? Jason Simmons Jr. at nickelback, potentially right now, Elijah Clark, who's done some good things for the Orange, and Justin Barron, who's been a rover and is really, to me, one of the leaders I think we're going to see on the defense this season. So I think that, knowing that you got a 3-3-5, they're heavy on having depth here at the corner position, safety, and obviously rover where you can put different corners and safeties into that position here on Syracuse's defense. Amon Greenwood, who's also gotten time out there, he's still there. So, I think this is going to be a non-household name for some guys that make it, guys that are on the cusp like an Elijah Clark, and guys that you have high expectations of in Justin Barron. And we'll see how this 3-3-5 stacks up. The good thing about it is, like I've said before, Tony White leaves for Nebraska and you get Rocky Long. It's like losing Luke Skywalker and gaining Yoda. So, the force could be very strong with this back line as it has been in the past. And we know that we've had some big names move on and go to the NFL and then the next man up, right? You look at Trill Williams, who has gone to the NFL. You look at Andre Sisco, who's gone to the NFL and covered him at Jacksonville in my Cisco Chronicles. And, we know that Ifeatu Melifonwu has gone off to the NFL. And after that happens, we look at Garrett Williams now going on to the NFL. And Syracuse has been able to reload. I mean, the best thing is that a decade or so ago, I was saying by far the worst unit on Syracuse's team a decade ago, 12 years ago, somewhere around that world, was their secondary. And it was no disrespect to it. It was, if you look at each unit and you rank them, Syracuse's secondary had the most trouble, especially when they came into the ACC from the Big East and trying to make that transition. Now Syracuse's back line of their defense has been extremely strong. And they've proven that when the names that you know go away, another name just rises up. And so that, to me, has happened these last couple seasons, and I'm trusting that it's going to happen again. So we'll see. Justin Barron's a leader. What other leaders will step up on this back line of the defense? And then special teams, which doesn't get spoken about enough. Transferring in Jack Stonehouse. Excited to have Jack onto the team, as Syracuse has had some punter woes in recent history. He comes from Missouri in the SEC. Jack Stonehouse coming to Syracuse, really, really in need of a good punter. Syracuse had a long history of great punting, and whether it's Rob Long or Riley Dixon or Sterling Hoffrichter, and then all of a sudden there's like a lull, right? And Syracuse hadn't gone through that in a while. So some people don't appreciate special teams, right? And then so they don't think about the punter, and they don't care, and they go get a drink when Syracuse is punting the ball, and they go to the bathroom, and then all of a sudden Syracuse has a lull in that punter efficiency, and people start losing their minds, and hopefully at that point started to realize that they were spoiled. Syracuse fans have been spoiled in the punter world for a long time, and now hopefully they'll get spoiled again with Stonehouse. Brady Denneberg, that's my dude. I got to do the exclusive with him coming from Merritt Island. His mentor just so happens to be one of Syracuse's greatest kickers of all time, Nate Trout, who's also a good friend of mine. And so my guy, Brady Denneberg, who I firmly thought was going to be the kicker after Andre Schmidt finished up his time at Syracuse, which thank you, Andre, for all that you've done. And God bless to you and to your future. Appreciate you very much. So happy for Brady. He's exactly where I thought he would be, and he's only a sophomore. So he's got plenty of time, place kicker and kickoff for him. And then long snapper Tom Callahan, new face we got here, transferring in. So we'll see what he could do. And Ethan Stengel still on the team. And then holder Jack Stonehouse, the punter, looking to hold. Maybe Von Marburg will hold here. We'll see. And then our punt returner, kick returner, Trevor Pena, which I very much look forward to seeing Trevor continue to be a threat in so many different places, and hopefully more of a threat on offense, as he really wasn't utilized over these last couple seasons that much, and I'd like to see him get utilized a little bit more. So with that being said, we're going to take a step aside for a final fast break of today's broadcast. When I come back, I will lead firmly in for my analysis of Syracuse and the topics around Syracuse football to the ingredients to success and what I really think will make a fantastic Syracuse football season. All of that is coming up on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they're always here for you.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career, it's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvelange, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Happy to be here with you where sports meets life every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It's time for us to jump into the ingredients to success, which come to you every single Tuesday, proudly presented by the fantastic team at Avicolli's on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, a.k.a. at the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road, right down the street from Liverpool High School. And you can literally walk there. Reason why I say that is we are proud to have our Liverpool Warriors broadcast exclusively at Avicolli's. We go to Avicolli's every single month with Liverpool and get to celebrate their staff, their student athletes, and their coaches, which is a true honor for me. And I look forward to seeing you out there. We just had the football team do their official kickoff broadcast, which I had so much fun doing, and cannot thank Liverpool and the Warriors enough, the football program, and obviously a big time shout out to head coach Joe Sindoni, his staff, and to all the student athletes that were guests on my show, as well as the student athletes of the entire football team. A lot of fun, and I look forward to the next event we'll be doing at Avicolli's as we welcome the students and student athletes back to campus, as well as the faculty and staff and coaches. So much love to everybody out there at Liverpool. The ingredients to success this week: zero in on Syracuse football. What are the ingredients to success? Now, I know some people will be sitting here going, Dan, score more points than the other team. Yeah, say, and it's like, yeah, okay, well, that's a given. But, that is not, that's not what I'm going to be talking about here. And I think the thing for Syracuse, their key ingredients to success this season is that the offensive line that these guys that are going to have to step up, these new faces that are coming in, I think ingredients to success offensive line-wise is JeAndre Reed as well as Joe Moore are going to have to, immediately have a positive effect on this team. I think that's a huge part of it. I think, having some guys come in transferring with experience, I think the experience of Moore and Reed, hopefully the quicker that can pay off, the better. That's an ingredient to success. Enrique Cruz Jr. growing into that blind side left tackle and really having, he's had reps, but being able to really build his leadership. I know he's built up his body. I know he appreciates the opportunity, and I know he's a good kid. And so, what he can do there is going to be a huge part of this, right? Because Enrique, if he does his job, then we're not going to see a lot of stuff. If he doesn't, then we're going to say, okay, why is the quarterback getting sacked? Why does this happen? What is going on? So I think that, being at left tackle is a huge responsibility, one of the biggest ones on the team. So I'm keying in on that as an ingredient to success. Of the better Enrique does, the better, we'll hopefully see this entire offense do. And then with Moore and Reed coming in with experience, that they can be immediately impactful, that Josh Alawa can be the true center of this team because he's been on the team for a bunch of seasons, but there's been different centers. He's been there, not been there. So I think showing really what he's grown into, because, he's got to be on. He's got to be on at all times. And I think that that's going to be a huge part of this as well. And then, I think Aronde Gadsden, the ingredients to success are, like I said before, another person emerging from this receiving core. Somebody else has to be a dominant threat, an everyday threat, an every down threat, so that Aronde Gadsden can be Aronde Gadsden, because I'm not saying he can't get the ball, but he can't be the only guy. And against the really good teams last year, they shut down Tuck, they shut down Gadsden. Syracuse couldn't do anything. Start off 6-0, end the season 0-6 before you go to the bowl game, and then you lose the bowl game. So I think, there definitely has to be another receiver, if not two, that step up. Another ingredient to success, utilize Trevor Pena. The guy's talented. Anybody that can make somebody miss when it comes to the punting game is not an easy thing to do, right? The hang time's up there. You catch that ball. If you're going to run with it and you're not going to fair catch it, you're putting yourself in massive harm's way. You're standing still. People are running downhill at you full speed. If Trevor Pena can make a miss as a kick returner, punt returner, then build some plays for him so he can make you miss as a receiver, and maybe just pitch it to him. Do some things in the backfield with him. That's another ingredient to success, in my opinion. Defensively, it's how quickly Braylon can come along on the defensive line and really figuring out who can step it up there. Like I said, the D-line's going to rotate, but Caleb Okechukwu needs help, right? He's very talented, but I think everything gets better when the other two guys that are going to start on that line can really have that initial hello and good morning to you, to whatever team they're playing against. So seeing the defensive line start to form these future leaders of this young talent and transfer and returning talent would be a good thing. I think Darton has done a great job, and I think he could be one of those guys that can step up and do it. I think, other ingredients to success, Brady Denneberg just shutting out the noise, being who he is, focusing. Remember, folks, in high school at Merritt Island down in Florida, he played quarterback, and he ran and he threw the ball. To help his team get to the state title game, he ran twice, threw the ball to set up his own game-winning field goal. So the guy's talented. I think he just needs to shut out the noise, focus, lock in, don't let the moment be too big for you. Don't get a big head. Don't get cocky. Remember where you came from. Remember where you want to go. And just be you. Because I think Brady can be a breakout player. And I don't think enough people are going to say that because he's on special teams. So I'm going to say that. I think Stonehouse, huge part of the ingredients to success. Syracuse's punting over the last 2 years has been suspect. Hopefully Stonehouse will change that. Plain and simple. Point blank and the period. And with that being said, those are some ingredients to success. And obviously Garrett Schrader, seeing what this offense is going to look like and if they can truly balance the offense between pass and run to the point where teams don't know where they're going to go on third down, where they're going to go on first down. I think if Syracuse can truly become a balanced offense that can leave you guessing what they're going to do next, that would be something that they haven't done in a really long time, and I think it'd be really positive. So Coach Beck, the game plan that he brings to the table is going to be huge, in my opinion, of how far this team can go and how they'll fare against the better teams that they'll face this season. So that being said, Tortora and Alfred's going to be coming up soon, exclusively on Wake Up Call with my guy Isaac Alford, and we'll be having some fun. This has been an initial breakdown of Syracuse, but we just got started. So with that being said, I appreciate you tuning in and for being a part of the Ingredients to Success, proudly brought to you by a fantastic business with great food, service, care, and appreciation for the community. I cannot thank them enough, but I'll thank them as often as I feel like, which is every day for me. Avicolli's, 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York. Head out and see them. Come every month and see our Liverpool Warriors spotlight broadcasts. Can't wait to see you soon. And these ingredients to success are here on Wake Up Call, and the ingredients to success are in all of their menu dishes. So head there for lunch, dinner, and drinks. As always, drink responsibly. You can go there for the casual pizza side, fine dining, the bar, weather permitting, outdoor dining, fantastic, beautiful. Take a look at all the cars driving by as you can hang out there in the front of Avicolli's with some beautiful flowers. It's a wonderful, wonderful time. And, of course, by calling 315-622-5100, takeout, delivery, catering. 315-622-5100. And they've made it easier to order online by going to myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com. And I do want to give a big shout out before we jump into our closing here.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, folks. You know what it's about. For the sports card collectors and enthusiasts out there, and to those that have never done it before, I command you all to go to GG Cards and Breaks, 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, right off of Teal Avenue. It is a fantastic experience. To someone who's never collected cards before, you're going to have a great time. And to somebody that has, you're going to have a great time because it's a family atmosphere. The service is incredible. The people truly care about it. They're in it all day. They're big kids who love sports cards. So when you walk in, what better people to sell sports cards to you than the people that love the hobby the most? Shout out Josh. Shout out Anthony. Shout out the whole team at GG Cards and Breaks. 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. Go and see them Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sunday from 10 to 5. And, of course, come see them this Thursday, August 17th, and get there early because it gets crowded in a great way. And I can't wait for this one. Trade night this Thursday, August 17th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. at 639 Delmar Place. We will see you there. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is live every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports meets that thing called life. And we always appreciate you being here with us on Wake Up Call on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. Once the shows go live, they jump into the archives, and I've already added stuff to the archives as of last night. We did our Baldwinsville Bees special honoring the back-to-back state title boys lacrosse team for Baldwinsville. And those broadcasts are already up on all of our podcasting platforms, and the videos are already up on YouTube and on Facebook. You can go to Amazon Music, Audible, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, iHeart Radio, Player FM, Podbean, Podvine, Podchaser, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube. Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora or Wake Up Call DT as one word, and make sure you bookmark us, follow us, save us. Whatever app you're on, whatever it says, usually it'll say follow. Click follow, because every time we put new shows up there, you'll get reminded, and you'll have that on your phone replenishing itself, refreshing, and giving you all the new broadcasts as we continue to tell the wonderful stories of the amazing people in our community and beyond. Speaking of our community, a big thanks to our incredible partners, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Mon Pa's Kettle Corn Popcorn Factory, 317 at Montgomery Street, GG Cards and Brakes, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Great Lakes Honda City, Pizza Man, PB&J's Lunchbox, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Mother's Cupboard, Chick-fil-A Watertown, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Avicolli's, and of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Le Moyne College Dolphins. Its fins way up. Guess what? The Le Moyne College Dolphins announced that they were going Division I just a couple months ago, and we broke the exclusive story on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora as we had the exclusive content about Le Moyne's road to D1 from the beginning of the beginning, thanks to Athletics Director Bob Beretta, President Dr. Linda Lemura, and our incredible partnership with Le Moyne College and the Dolphins. And this week, we get to see it happen. The first ever Division I game for Le Moyne College as a Division I institution in its entirety. Because I know baseball has done it. I know women's lacrosse has done it. But Le Moyne has never been a total Division I institution. So the first game as a Division I institution is going to happen on the soccer field. And on the soccer field, that game is going to be played on the road at the University of Maine with the women's soccer team this Thursday, August 17th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time in Orono, Maine. So, the first ever game for Le Moyne as a D1 full member institution. Le Moyne Dolphins, women's soccer, on the road at the University of Maine, facing off against the Black Bears this Thursday, August 17th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Cannot wait for this historic moment to happen. But I'm going to enjoy every day on the way there, that's for sure. AD and DT first and third Wednesday of each month, and the Dolphin Dive second and fourth Wednesday of each month, diving into the stories of student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni. AD and DT, obviously, giving you Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, a.k.a. DT. These go up for you Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on our live feed, and they jump immediately to, as Dolphins do, to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. For more information, go to LeMoyneDolphins.com. As always, fins way up. The Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners. With Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, you can find your Bobcats with us every single month throughout the year, speaking with student athletes, coaches, and administration, doing unique things that have never been done before in the history of Wake Up Call, like have board game challenges with the entire head coaching group. That was a ton of fun. To play Jenga with the head coaches, as well as to play guest jurors. And I'm 1-1 at Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse. I got a 500 record. That's good. As long as I'm not below 500, we're all right. The Bobcat Buzz coming to you every single month. You can go to the BSC Syracuse tab on wakeupcalldt.com, subscribe to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, and search Bobcat Buzz to find all of our stories with coaches, student athletes, and administration, and the unique history that we made with roundtable and panel discussions with the Bobcats that we've never done with anybody anywhere ever before. So not only are we exclusive partners with the Bobcats, but the Bobcats have made history on Wake Up Call and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media with a unique and original approach. Check out more from the Bobcats at syracuse.bscbobcats.com, and as always, go Bobcats. Alfred University Saxons, exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Mondays are Saxon time, and every first and third Monday of each month, you have the presidential perspective, like you did yesterday, featuring President of Alfred University, Mark Zupan. And Mark joined me to welcome home student athletes, students, faculty, staff, and coaches that are returning to Alfred University and those that are coming for the first time, because the retention rate at Alfred University is up and the new student number is up as well. Just showcasing what I see every time I go to Alfred University, which is a very unique, close community that cares about each other, attention to detail, and letting people know that their time is important, their energy is important, and that they are special. Saxon Spotlight coming to you every second and fourth Monday of each month at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, featuring stories with student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni. The Saxon Spotlight. Always love doing that. Love the last one that we got to do with Joe Kopp. And you're going to have a Saxon Spotlight takeover next week with the football team. And I can't wait for you to experience that. Check out all of our Saxon content by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt and clicking subscribe. For more information, go to gosaxons.com. And as always, go Saxons. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I want to thank Christy for Christy's Corner. I want to thank PB&J's Lunchbox and Pat Orr for being the exclusive presenter of Christy's Corner here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in our partnership with one of the best restaurants I've ever eaten at in my life. I love the spin that they take on food. PB&J's Lunchbox, food trucks all over the place, including downtown Syracuse today at Upstate, currently right now. And they are also at their cafe on 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Big time thanks to Christy Martin, the champ, and of course, thanks to Aaron Freeman, Mr. 6-0, Brooklyn Stand Up. I appreciate that very much, and many thanks to Pat Orr as well for her photography work and for everything she does in her ownership of PB&J's Lunchbox. She's on the truck doing work today, so I love that. I love the owners that are getting involved. Syracuse Football Talk, and of course a big time thanks to Avicolli's for the ingredients to success every Tuesday and what they do every single week in our community for many decades, providing awesome service and fantastic food to the wonderful people of Central and Upstate New York. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a fantastic night and that all your dreams come true. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is with you 24/7 on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter, X at Call DT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. God bless. No stress. Do your best. We'll talk soon. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day today. I hope it's everything and more that you could ever hope for. Have a good day, folks. I'll talk to you soon.